What do you take away about relationship?
What do I take away about relationships?
After
मेरे हिसाब से रिलेशनशिप्स दो इंसानों के बीच की बुनियाद है। मुझे लगता है दो या कितने भी इंसान हो, अगर रिश्ता है तब जाके आप किसी से बात करोगे किसी तरह से, मतलब अपनी निजी ज़िंदगी के बारे में या अपनी किसी भी चीज़ के बारे में. सो आई थिंक दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वेयर डज द रिलेशनशिप स्टार्ट फ्रॉम, व्हाट इज़ द सीड, what is the motivation to have a certain relationship. So I think that's what I understood out of this in this house.
But the Gen Z does not have any importance for relationship in today's world.
I would beg to differ.
Okay.
Because I think there's always going to be a section of a generation. Right now it's being called Gen Z, and if you would like to put it like a generalized statement that they don't care about relationships, I think that's being too harsh on them. I think there's always going to be a section that respects relations, that is sympathetic and empathetic towards relations and accepting of relations.
Okay. What as a couple, what have you learned, more about Aishwarya and about yourself? I've already spoken to Aishwarya.
Oh, fantastic. So, what I've learned about relationships between, at least हमारे relation के बीच में जो है, that we're stronger together. We make a great team, and we've now understood much better, क्योंकि 24 घंटे साथ में रहना, वो भी एक public platform पर, ऐसे national platform पर, I think that gives you a lot of you give a lot of privilege to people to have a insight into your own relationships. So I think कहीं ना कहीं हम दूसरों को दिखा भी रहे हैं कि हमारा रिश्ता क्या है, और हम खुद भी समझ रहे हैं, एक्सप्लोर कर रहे हैं एक दूसरे को. तो वो चीज़ें समझना कि किसका थ्रेशोल्ड क्या है, वो समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है, कि किसका ब्रेकिंग पॉइंट क्या है. जब वो ब्रेक होती है इंसान, या ब्रेक होता है, तब वो क्या करता है, किस हद तक जा सकता है, नहीं जाता है, वो ये पैरामीटर्स हम एक दूसरे के बारे में समझने लगे. एंड आई थिंक ओवरऑल we came out stronger.
I know. So, but I feel that throughout this thing, I've seen the game, I've seen Bigg Boss, so I felt Aishwarya is indispensable to you.
She's indispensable. You're right.
Because you lost yourself, in the game when she left.
No, I don't think so. I lost myself. That's what I was explaining.
Initially, one day it's okay, but otherwise also,
Can I explain? So I think you belong to that audience who appreciates or who connects to someone screaming on the top of their lungs to prove a point.
No.
And no,
I mean, not at all.
So I feel proving a point does not need to be always expressed in a certain way. And if being a part of the show, or being a part of this game, if you say, is just proving a point or talking, I think वो गलत है. It's also about noticing a lot of new changes that are happening. As I was explaining to another journalist before you, the show has always been unnecessarily been a comparison between two couples, that is me and Aishwarya and Ankita and Vicky. Unnecessarily, we never wanted to have that comparison, but हुआ, ठीक है, accepted. But at the same time, जब ऐश्वर्या के जाने से वो status को change हुआ. So I wanted to see now what is the new game that they're going to play. So for that, you need to not go on the front foot. You need to stay where you are and see what is happening. And that's what I was seeing.
No, but I felt that agony and pain in your persona.
Yeah.
Maybe I was looking at you psychologically.
True.
So
that there was pain.
Yeah.
There was agony.
I could feel that.
And that was in my zone. That was in my
Yeah.
space. I was not showing it to others that,
But the
look,
camera-
I'm going through so much of pain. Look, I'm in so much of agony.
Yeah.
It was not meant for them.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have that sympathy from people. It's not, कोई पहाड़ नहीं टूट पड़ा है. हाँ, मेरी पत्नी गई. The problem was जिस तरह से गई है. I am okay with the whole format of exiting and eviction and everything. I'm not a kid. I'm a grown-up man, and I understand all of these things. But the problem is जिस तरह से हुआ, and वो मतलब होने दिया गया. That's what I had a problem with, and मुझे उस चीज़ का revenge चाहिए था.
Were you successful in taking?
Obviously,
revenge?
I was not.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Okay.
So I want
you'll
to
carry this.
This is the
thing throughout your. Forgetfulness is but a process.
See, I am.
But it'll take some time.
forgetfulness is never going to be a process of this show, because this show is always going to be etched, right? It's always going to be on some platform. It's going to be seen. तो वो कभी भुलाया नहीं जाएगा. कभी बैठ के अगर देखना है तो मुझे याद रहेगा, अच्छा ये हुआ था. तो वो भूलने का मतलब नहीं. You have to move on. So that's the point. I'm no longer part of that process anymore, that format, and I've moved on from that, and I'm pretty matured enough to think like this. But if you ask me a question, what would I have done? I would, ये जो nominations होते हैं, I would have called out all the things that I had observed in that time that I'm talking about. जो Vicky and Ankita were trying to make a public opinion about it, that now Ankita has a different opinion from Vicky. Now she does not follow Vicky. So I want to call out that. I want to call out जो ईशा और विकी अंकिता के बीच में जो खटास आ गई थी, अचानक से उसने सुलह कर ली, just so that वो उनका जो प्रोसेस है, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours, वो वाला जो उनका नंबर गेम चल रहा है, एक सपोर्ट करना एक दूसरे को, even after whatever you do wrong with each other, हम फिर भी आपको सपोर्ट करेंगे.
But the introduction of this court scene, it allured a lot of people, and it was something which was very catchy. What do you have to say about this introduction of the court scene?
The court scene.
Yeah, it was really happening like.
Of course, Malab, it was an unraveling of a lot of facts and things we were made privy to, which otherwise we wouldn't have been. And but how does it affect me? It does not really affect me or my game in that sense. Yes, I get a certain clarity about someone's motivations, but we got more clarity on Weekend Kavar. So I think वो एक part of the process था of understanding Aisha and Munawwar's relation. कुछ details समझ में आ रही, अच्छा timeline ये था. But how does it affect me? I mean, it was an elaborate practical experiment to showcase इन दोनों का relation.
Okay, Aishwarya wanted you to win.
I know.
So sad that you didn't fulfill her wish. How do you take
I couldn't.
this?
I said, it's not I didn't.
Because you were nominated throughout.
Yes, because of Vicky. I was nominated throughout the season. Without having done anything that would make me eligible for such a punishment.
Eviction.
So yeah.
Okay, what is important to you, winning or losing a competition? How do you look at competition now, hereafter, Because the competition and things that are going on in Bigg Boss, it's not so in real life.
Yeah, of course.
So what do you learn from it?
So when I get into any kind of a competitive space, I'm there to win it. And obviously everyone should be in it to win it.
You should have that winning spirit.
Exactly. But at the same time, when you're a part of a project like Bigg Boss, आपके इंटेंशंस बहुत क्लियर होने चाहिए. आप किस लिए इस शो में जा रहे हैं? मैं अपनी पर्सनैलिटी दिखाने जा रहा हूँ. मैं जीतूँ हारूँ मेरे हाथ में नहीं है, क्योंकि इसमें बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स, मूविंग फैक्टर्स हैं, एंड इसमें दे आर नॉट इन माई हैंड्स. लाइक डबल एविक्शन हो गया, नॉमिनेशन हो गया, सारा सीजन नॉमिनेटेड रहना, पब्लिक वोटिंग, इट्स नॉट माई हैंड्स. मेरे हाथ में क्या है? मेरा परफॉर्मेंस. मैं क्या करूँगा, किस तरह से एक सिचुएशन में रिएक्ट करूँगा, इट्स ऑल इन माई हैंड्स. So that's what I can control. But other than that, there's nothing that I can control. So I was there in it to win it, but at the same time, I was there to showcase my personality in different scenarios. I was there. अगर मैं जब भी जीतूँ अच्छी बात है, नहीं जीतूँ तो जब भी निकलूँ लोगों का दिल जीत के निकलूँ, अपनी रिस्पेक्ट मेंटेन और डिग्निटी मेंटेन करते हुए निकलूँ, और जब भी कोई बात करे तो बोले कि इसके अंदर इंटेग्रिटी थी.
What is that personality in you that you have learnt about yourself, that you may have, usually don't feel offended. We in the field of glitz and glamour, especially the actors and all, they have to pursue double standards.
Okay.
So what is that one thing that you learnt here it unraveled,
That I don't have double standards.
Yeah. Okay.
So I learned that. I have a lot of patience. That also.
Yeah, you are a calmer person.
Yeah.
You are much calmer than your wife. So who gives in, at home also?
Both. She gives in a lot of times. I give in a lot of times. And I think that's what makes a healthy relation.
Yeah. Okay. So, what hereafter, Have you signed
I've just
something?
arrived, and it's been like a few hours that I've had sleep, like 2-3 hours I slept. So I'm not yet aware of my work commitments, that future work commitments. I have not signed anything. Let's see.
Yeah. participating in the Bigg Boss, it also gives you a privilege to bag more roles. You get offers.
Yes.
Needless to say that.
Perfect.
So what are your expectations now,
My expectations would be that whatever has been offered to me earlier in my career, at least something better would be coming my way. At least that is my expectation. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay. When I was talking to
Aishwarya,
she has asked you to be pardoned, हाथ जोड़ के उसने माफी मांगी कि मैंने डिसरिस्पेक्ट किया है. What do you have to say? Will you pardon her?
Obviously, she does not need to do that. It was a stupid banter and unnecessarily being blown out of proportion. I think you're the second person asking me this question out of 7 or 8 people. So I think it clearly shows it wasn't that big a thing. And if it's being blown out of proportion, I would just request that please go back and see the footage and get some context, because the context was very different. हमारे साथ जब वो आप बीती हो रही थी, वो हमारे साथ वैसी नहीं थी जो शायद दिखी है आप लोग को.
नहीं, not from this. Salman made her realize.
Exactly,
that is what she said.
because Salman sir को भी वही चीज दिखाई गई है. उन्होंने भी वही चीज देखी होगी. पर हमारे साथ क्या हुआ था वो मैंने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले एक्सप्लेन किया था. उनके साथ बहुत ज्यादा पोकिंग की गई थी व्हेन शी वाज कुकिंग. एक रात पहले उनको ये बताया गया था कि जो एक्चुअली कुकिंग का काम है, इमेजिन कीजिए 6 लोग का खाना आपको कुक करना है और आपको ये बोल दिया जाए कि आप कुछ काम कर नहीं रही है, आपकी ड्यूटी बहुत कम है. तो वो बहुत हर्ट कर गया उसे. और जबकि वो बहुत ही दिल से और चाव से दूसरों के लिए खाना बना रही है. एंड शी सर्विंग देम फूड, मेकिंग श्योर दैट द फूड गोज इनटू द राइट वेसल्स एंड द वेसल्स आर एम्प्टीड एंड गॉन फॉर वॉशिंग. सो शी इज टेकिंग केयर लाइक अ मदर शी वाज एक्चुअली डूइंग. एंड शी वाज सेइंग व्हाई एम आई बीइंग अ मदर टू ऑल दीस पीपल. मैं क्यों करूं, मैं इतनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज क्यों लूं सर पे. बट आई वाज सेइंग तू कर रही है, बहुत रिस्पेक्टेबल काम है. और ये चीज जो उसने की उसको नकार दिया गया सबके सामने, तो वो चीज उसको हर्ट कर गई. वहां से जो वो कॉफी वाला मुद्दा हुआ था, हमने जो कॉफी छुपाई थी, वो कॉफी निकाल के देना था वापस जब मांगी गई थी, तो हमने रिक्वेस्ट किया आप लोग रूम से बाहर जाइए. तो वो रूम से बाहर गए. तो जल्दीबाजी में जिस चीज में मैंने कॉफी छुपाई थी वो बेसिकली पटेटोज का एक कंटेनर था, जो थैली थी. मैं उस थैली को एम्प्टी करना चाह रहा था, तो पटेटोज मेरे हाथ में थे. आई एम होल्डिंग दोस पटेटोज. आई जस्ट आस्क्ड अंकिता, बिकॉज ऐश्वर्या वाज डूइंग समथिंग दैट टाइम. वो कुछ और खाली कर रही थी. आई थिंक चाय की बर्नी खाली कर रही थी जिसमें वो कॉफी डालती. तो एट द सेम टाइम मैंने अंकिता को बोला कि अंकिता मुझे कपड़ा दे दे जिसमें मैं पटेटोज रखूं. तो ये ऐश्वर्या ने सुन लिया एंड शी इज लाइक अरे ये ले. मैं बोला अरे अंकिता देना. तो कहते सुन क्यों नहीं रहा है, अरे चिल्ला क्यों रही है, रुकना 1 मिनट. तो तब तक शी इज लाइक अरे तो सुन नहीं रहा है इसलिए. तो चिल्ला क्यों रही है, मैं हाथ में पटेटोज है इसलिए. पर तो सुन नहीं रहा है इसलिए मैं चिल्ला रही. तो व्हाई आर यू लिसनिंग टू मी, एवरीबॉडी इज शाउटिंग, एवरीबॉडी इज सेइंग समथिंग और द अदर. तो वो अननेसेसरली जो एक कहीं से बिल्डअप हुआ था वो आपको सिर्फ ये दिखाया गया, ये नहीं दिखाया गया था कि कहाँ से वो शुरू हुआ था. So that was the whole point.
Okay, lastly, do you consider Aishwarya to be a dominating wife and Neil to be a henpecked husband? What do you have to say?
What do you expect me to say? Of course, no. I don't accept it. It's a baseless question and baseless point you're trying to make.
Thank you.
Thank you.